Hey patrons, this is Johannes from Noisebud, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. This is a post for my higher paying tiers. So first off, you need to know that this is not something that everyone will be able to download. And why do I post this? That's because during the last couple of weeks, I had a couple of requests. About 4 or 5 people reach out to me and ask, what do we get if we upgrade to the higher paying tier? And I normally give some examples, but I thought that why don't I do this the same way that I do with the lowest paying tier, the normal tier, so that you can see the content but you can't download it. That way you know what you get before you upgrade, if you want to upgrade. So this is me trying to be a bit more transparent about the content that I will post there. All right, that said, this is not about an audio plugin. This is not about audio at all. This is about a WordPress plugin that I presented for the higher paying tiers earlier this spring. And at that time, it was more of a proof of concept that I started to I created my own WordPress plugin to handle file delivery and payments for clients. And that's because I was frustrated with I was using multiple systems to do these things and they wasn't really connected to each other, so it involved a lot of manual stuff. So I thought, can't I make this a bit more I wanted some flow. If I get a new client and that asks me, can you master this, we have deadline tomorrow, then I don't want to spend like an hour setting up a new client. I will just type his name and click create, and there's the client's page and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you this plugin, how it works and where the development is at currently, and things like that. So enjoy. I will try to keep this short, but it's really hard. The last video about this plugin was 4 to 5 minutes. So I'm gonna start with just quickly tell you what this plugin can do. And it will create a page for the client, a password protected page. It will be able to send automatically emails about new files and payment links and stuff like that to the client, and it will that's the basics really. So let's just say that it's a client handling system for audio file delivery. So let's start with that and let's dive into what this plugin does. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use a completely other WordPress installment today, because the last video I did with my actual mastering company, and it was a bit hard because I had a lot of clients there and I didn't want to reveal their names, passwords, and so on. So I decided to let's go just with another site and to demo this. So we're going to start with adding the plugin. So we're going to upload a plugin, and this is the file that's going to be available in the download hub for higher paying tiers. So you don't have it, but it's called Saintpid Manager, or if you're a higher paying tier, then you can do this. So I'm going to choose the plugin, open, and install now. There we go, it's installed. I'm going to activate the plugin. Here we go. Now we have something in the WordPress admin menu called Client Projects, and this is the plugin. So we're going to click that, and the first thing you will see is Client Projects. It's pretty empty, no projects found. It says right here, and that's because we don't have added any clients just yet. Before we do that, we're going to go into settings down here. So client projects and down to settings, and we're gonna go through the settings. And this I actually have already tried installation on this site, so I have already put some stuff in here. But it's pretty basic stuff. The name of the company, I called it Saintpid Mastering. And then you have a reply to email address, and that's just the address that you want the emails that goes to the client. Well, if they reply on that, where do you want that email to go? And a review link, that for me it goes to Google review. That can be Trustpilot or stuff like that. Admin email notifications, and this is just a function that will send you a copy of what you are sending the client, so that you get an email that says, if you send an email about new files to a client, then you get that as well, so you can see it. Yeah, okay, the mail went away. So it's just like a safety measure to do that. Then we have front-end colors. I'm not gonna edit those. Those are there so you can adapt it to your WordPress theme, so it looks good on your site. When you've done these settings, then you just press Save Settings, and then we can go back to Client Projects and set up our first client. So let's say that a client have created, we're going to use a client's file here. A client have send me a mix, and I have master it. So I have a master here. In this case, it's called Cheater Mode Master 001. I'm going to send this to the client. This is placed in Dropbox. I'm using Dropbox. This plugin is made for Dropbox. At a later stage, I may add other cloud services, but for now, it's Dropbox. It works really well for me. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later on. But doing this Dropbox thing, copy the Dropbox link. And we need a client also. The client will be called demo client. That's good. So create new project, demo client. The English, we put it to English language because I don't think all of you aren't fluent in Swedish, so let's do English. There we go. We have created a client. The client have, there's the name, the language we're using, the password for a client. We can click change password if we want to generate a new password for the client. And we can view the client's page. Right now there's nothing there. We can actually have a look at it. It looks like this. No entries found for this project. So it doesn't exist just yet. Now we go into manage this client's page here. We're gonna paste the Dropbox link that I just copied. The project header that's the name of the file pretty much. If you paste a link to audio file from Dropbox, it would pick the name from the file, but you can name it whatever you want. It's just, you will see how it looks later. Internal notes, that's just for me. If I put this on the F drive or something, whatever. That's not for the client. That's just like a note for you, so you can put a note to easier find the file at a later stage. And comments, that is just if you want to use it. Let's put it to something like this, so you can tell the client what the format are, or that it's for streaming perhaps, or this is files for vinyl, and so on. We're going to add that. We're going to add another one actually. You can see that it has put a line down here with the file. We're going to pretend that we have another file, but we're using the same music. Another music file or audio file. Let's put audio file here. Comment, hello, just to have something different than the first and we add that as well. Now we have two audio files here. Let's see how this looks for the client, and you can scroll up to the top of the page and hit preview here, and you will come directly into what the client will see. So this is what it will look like for the client. So the project name or the name of the track, sometimes this can be a folder of a couple of tracks as well. I'm going to show you how that differs from a single audio file as well. The preview, that's pretty cool. When you hit play here, then you actually download the file from Dropbox to your server and play it from your server, and that is because we want to we don't want to use the codec that Dropbox use. So this will be without a codec. This is the raw file as you made it, so the same quality as you send it to the client. So when you listen, the client sits on the tube or somewhere, and he can listen with his phone and have uncompressed audio. So when you hit play, it will start to load. So now it's downloading the file from Dropbox. So you can play that audio around. Same thing here. Yeah, and it starts to buffer. And you can hit download, then they will, it will just open a download window like this. So the client can download the file. So this is what it looks like. If we use some other functions that's here, you can put a header. Let's say that you have a client that are a returning client, and he comes with one album a year and 3 EPs, for example. Then you can name this EP 1 2025, for example. And if we look how that looks, then it says EP 1 2025 right there. And if he comes back with another album, we update this side. Now we have an album title or headline, so that we can put files below that, so it's easy for the client to see which files goes with which project. Let's add some files to that as well. It will always put the latest thing that you add to your clients on the top. So right in this situation, I need to rearrange, and you do that by just grabbing these 3 little handles out here, and you just draw the headers or the links or whatever you have to different places. Actually, let's copy a file or a folder from Dropbox, so I can show you what differs when you add a folder. It won't be playable from the site at this point, because if I would do that, then I needed to use the Dropbox API, and that was a little bit too much right now, but maybe at a later stage. So this is a link to a folder. The folder name are not, you can't pick, you need the Dropbox API to use the name of the folder. So here you need to write something. Demo client EP 2025 or album 2025, like that. And we can write here that this is master, the first master, for example. So this is a folder. And we're gonna do another thing as well. We're gonna add a separator. Its type is called break here, and we're gonna put that between these so that it looks like this for the client. Here's the album. This is the folder, and when you click this, it will actually open Dropbox and will open that folder on Dropbox. So instead of playing back the files, I wanted it to be that if you click that, then it will go into another page where all the audio files were buffered up and you can play that, but that will be on a later stage. This, I don't know. It's often more useful anyway when you are mastering singles with the files when you just have one file. Then the clients are more likely to play the audio back from the page. If you're mastering an album, they almost always click download first. So I don't know if it's necessary. But you can see that there's a divider here, and they have divided the two projects, so it's easy for the client to see which one is one. And there's a couple of other functions as well here. Let's say that the first file that we sent is master 1, and the second one here is master 2, and the client says, I don't like master 1, I want master 2. Then you can mark it as old, by going into the edit. And you can see that it's the red goes red and it's strike through. And if we go to the main page, it looks like this for the client. This way it's easy for the client to see. If you don't want to just delete the file, you still want to keep it, but you want to mark that this is not the file that you're going to use. And I think that I know the download is still there, so you can download it. I thought that I removed the download if I did this, but I didn't. I probably just thought about it. Okay, so that's the mark as old function. There's another function here that we're gonna show you. If we go into edit again, you can set declick that unrestricted access. This means that you will have restricted access. That will make the file look a little bit different again. So you go back to the client's page, and you will have a sign here that says download will be available after payment, but you can preview your files with the play button. Please note the audio will be muted for 2 seconds twice per minute as a watermark. So the client can still play the audio, listen to it when it have buffered like this. Then twice a minute there will be the audio will be muted for 2 seconds, and it doesn't matter where you start to play. It's all the same places, and the reason for this is just maybe one client a year, but you know, you have a client reach out to you from a country somewhere far away, and they're not paying in advance. If they do that, then you can just give the files, but you're have a, you know, that gut feeling when this is not a person that I just want to send a lot of things that I put a lot of hours into and they just disappear and never pay. Then you can do it like this, and it will be hard for them to stream the audio and record it and use it. That's why I added this function, because I've been that's happened to me. And that's really frustrating, and you get really annoyed and angry. And this way it's harder because the pause is always at the same position in the song. So whatever they do when they stream the audio, the same positions will never be played back. So it's hard for them to kind of cut and paste a fully functional song, but they can still listen to it uncompressed, almost the whole song. I hardly never use this function, but I just thought I'd mention it so you know that it's there. And in the admin view, you can see that the access is restricted as well. Let's remove that unrestricted access. By default, it's when you add something, you have the little tick box here as well. It will be ticked. So you need to either untick this before you post a new link, or you go into edit and edit this little thing here. All right, there's a click counter here in the admin. So if we update this, you can see that, this has been clicked once. This is actually a remain from my first version because I added a click log, and let's talk about that a little bit. it looks like this. It's placed here in the WordPress menu on the client projects, click log. Then you can see when a person have clicked something, if they played it, if they downloaded it, or whatever they did. And I added this because it's really annoying when you send a master and maybe it's a special project, so you want to know, have they listened to it or have they downloaded it? And because if they have played it and downloaded it, then you can send emails and ask what you think should, or if you want to discuss something. But otherwise you need to send an email asking them, have you heard the material yet? And that's just another unnecessary step, and just waste of time, really. This way you know they have heard it, they have downloaded it. You still don't know if they have any comments, but at least you know that, so you don't have to ask about that. So that's the click log, and you can click the client here, and that will take you back to that client. All right, let's talk about the email functions. This is the what the client sees. Now we have uploaded a lot of stuff to the client's page. Let's update that so it's the latest. And we want to tell the client that there are files on your account. This is what you do. We're gonna put in just the client's email, and I just choose a random email address that I use for testing stuff. Here, this is the client, and here you can name the project. This is nothing. This is not stored anyway, but it will appear in the client's email. So we're gonna call this Patreon test project. This can be the track name, this can be the album name, this can be the artist name, whatever. And send email about new files. This will mean that the client will get an email that will tell them that you have new files on your account. Let's do that so we can see that. We go to my inbox, and here we got an admin copy. That's because this is the mail going to that we set up in the beginning in the settings, that I will have a copy of all the emails sent. And the email says, hello demo client, we have recently added new files to your account. Please log in to view the latest additions. And then there's a link to the client's page and the passwords that they can copy and paste. And below that, if you put an address in the review box in the settings, then this text will appear. If you have a moment, we would love to hear your feedback. Please review our servers here, and I have my Google link there. No one ever used this links, but I think it just looks professional, so it's mostly there. I think 3 people have reviewed me on Google, so it's not that common. I probably should be a bit more, tell people to do that. But I'm like mastering. I like creating plugins and stuff like this. I'm not that much into sales and stuff like that. And that's why I can't afford an assistant. So I need to do things like this. All right. And it ends the email with best regards, Saintpid Mastering, because we put Saintpid Mastering in the settings as well in the plugin. So this is the mail the client gets for new files. And we probably had another one now because I redirected that email to my main email address as well. So this is exactly what the client will see. Same email, just it doesn't says for admin up there. All right. The client answers that email because it sends out from also the reply to address that you put in settings. And he says, I'm really happy with this. I want to pay for the project right now, like clients always said. Then you need to create a payment link. And this plugin doesn't handle paying. It relies on you having some kind of payment system. So in this case, I'm going to go to my mastering company's page, and I'm going to create a payment link. So this is has nothing to do with the plugin we're talking about. This is the way I work. So I'm gonna create, let's say that this was an album, not 16 tracks, maybe 9 tracks, and blah 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 blah. Yes, it's a returning customer, blah 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 blah. There we go. So this will create a payment link that I can copy here. So I will copy that link. This can be PayPal address or whatever system, or Stripe, or whatever you use to get paid. Doesn't matter, as long as it's just a link that works as it is, that's fine. So we copy that link and we're going down to send payment link. So we're gonna paste that link here, payment link, and we're gonna call this again demo project album, or whatever we call it, I don't remember. And here you can choose to tell the client that there's also new files on their account, or you can just send a clean email with just a payment link. We're gonna tell them that we have some files, new files as well in this case. There we go. Sending that email. Let's go back to the email box, and we have the admin copy already. So this time it's a little bit more information. It says, hi demo client, and thank you for choosing Saintpid Mastering. Here's the payment link for your project, demo project album. And if I click that, in my case, we're gonna go to my mastering page, because this has nothing to do with WordPress plugin. This is just a clean link that I can use. For me, it looks like this, and the client gets an automatic created receipt in their inbox, and they can choose the way they want to pay for themselves. So I don't have to mind that. It's really works really well. And it also says we have also added new files to your account, so they can log in and download if there are any new files. If you choose just to send a payment link, then it looks like this. Another payment. Let's go back. Inbox. And it says payment for your project, another payment. Yeah, and then they just have the email with the payment link. So it's fastened up all communications around file delivery and payment. Then you still have to communicate about the fun stuff, like I want more high-end, or can you open it up a little bit? Can we have less dynamics, more dynamics? Can you change the compressor, or I can hear the compressor pumping, or stuff like that. So this just takes away all that administrative emails that at least I find really boring. So this is just automated. It's really fast and easy. And down here, I'm saving all the payment links. So right now, let's do like this. You can see that there's a paid click here. This is just a visual thing. It's not connected to anything. But if I can see that, okay, now I received a payment, then I can go in and I can click these. Because there's another thing here in client projects. There's something that calls invoices here. It says invoices. So I click there and I come to the invoice log. And if there are unpaid projects for a client, even paid projects I think are shown here as well, they will be red, and I can click that and see, okay, this one isn't paid yet. Then I can send a reminder here. So I send a reminder. Let's go back to the inbox. And we have a hi demo client. This is a friendly reminder regarding the payment for your project. Another payment. If you have already paid, please disregard this message. So even reminders are to some extent automated and really easy. And if they pay, then I just click that, and in the payment log, in our invoices, it looks like this: demo client, all paid. So yeah, that's it. Are there any more functions? Did I talk about the click log? Yes, I did. Settings, yes. Yeah, there's a couple of small things here. If we have more clients here, let's create a couple of clients. Hans, that German guy, and a couple of clients. If you want to search for someone, you just can type that, and it's really fast to just hide the other ones, so you quickly find clients if you use a lot of clients. And yeah, this thing is pretty cool as well. Select parent page for projects. So this is a thing that you don't have to use this, but I found out that Google, when you search for Saintpid Mastering, all of a sudden all my clients' pages were listed on Google search, because their robots crawl the sites, and it adds all the pages on your site, and even if they password protected, the people could see all my clients. So I made a top level page that I put all the clients under, and I hide that from Google, which you can do. And that's why this is here. So you can put all the clients in a client top level, and you hide the client from Google. Then everything that is below the client or are listed in the client page, then they won't be visible for Google. So that's what this is. And what happens when you create a page is that it actually creates a normal WordPress page. And this is cool for different reasons. Let's go into the demo client, for example, and edit that. Then you can see that it's just a short code. It's just a password protected site created, or page created, with a short code. This means that you can add other things to a client. Like I have sometimes calculators for people that have special deals and stuff like that. So right now I just put calculator. You need a little bit more than that to put something there, but you can put pictures or other documents or whatever, and you can update this page. Then we go back to the client project, open that page, and see that I put calculator on it. I just wrote that there. So that way you can mix different things. You can mix, you can write notes to the client, or instructions, or links, or whatever you can post on the page on WordPress. You can put in the client's page without needing to create a new page or do things like that. It's really practical. For me, I used it a lot because I used I had my old system. Had a lot of some clients have been with me for 10 years, and I made a lot of projects for them. To move those projects to this new system is just too much work. So for those clients, I have their old system below the new system, so they can see all their old files as well. It looks different, but they at least can log into the page and get hold of all their old files, plus that I can use the new system with the way like any client. So that's why I made it like this, and it's really practical because WordPress have already the password protected pages, things and stuff like that. All right, I think I talked about everything, and it's just 34 minutes. I did it faster this time. So this is the my WordPress plugin for handling file delivery and payments for clients. And this version that I'm posting about right now is all the hard-coded stuff about my company is removed and moved to settings, so you can actually use this now. So it would be great if you try this to give some feedback and comments about it. Because right now I'm just adding stuff that I want, but it could be interesting to see if there are things that other people want that may be possible to do. And the great thing with this is that it does, I mean, you need to pay for the Patreon one time to download this, but otherwise this doesn't cost anything. There's no monthly thing, unless you want an update. If you pay for 1 month to download this, then it's yours to keep. You don't have to stay as a Patreon. If you want an update later in 6 months or something, when I have the time to create something, and then you can pay for another month. And in the end, it will be the cheapest system you ever had for file delivery. So, yeah, that's why I made it. So, it's cool. Yeah, this is an example of things that are posted for higher paying tiers, and this is me back from my vacation, and I hope I'm looking forward to a new season of plugins and stuff from Noisebud. So have a great evening, and I see you with the next plugin or other stuff that I do. Okay, bye bye.